These 5 mistakes are stopping you from filling your calendar with more remote clients, and in this video, I'm going to break down all 5 of them and show you how to fix it. I'm Carl Bahner, and I'm a remote mixing engineer and educator with clients in over 30 countries on 6 continents, and I get those clients without relying on SoundBetter, so this video is going to help you do the same. Mistake number 1, there's a lack of intention behind your branding. I've got good news and I've got bad news, and I want to start with the bad news because unfortunately, you have a brand. And you might be thinking, why is that bad news? Well, the real bad news is that you have a brand whether you like it or not, whether you try it or not, because your brand is not something that you decide. Your brand is the way that a potential customer feels about you. Everybody is going to have a different gut feeling about you. Everybody's going to think of you in a different way. My wife has a different gut feeling about me than the barista at Starbucks does. The barista has a different gut feeling than you do. And the reason that this is so important for us trying to get more remote clients is that when you're meeting somebody locally, there's some shared experience of either being in the same music scene, or maybe you have some mutual friends, whatever that is. Remotely, we don't have that context. We literally just have the first couple seconds when they find your social media post or they read the DM that you sent them. And that's why it's so important to be thoughtful about how you present yourself online. You have to make sure that it's intentional and thoughtful so that you're crafting the kinds of gut feelings that you want your potential clients to have about you. The good news is that it's not actually that hard to figure these things out and start to apply them. When you start looking at your social media as a tool to shape gut feelings, as opposed to somewhere you're supposed to just self-promote, your approach behind it changes. What you make changes. Who you're talking to changes. And ultimately, the results go from nobody caring to total strangers realizing that you are the perfect fit and you are the person that they've been waiting their entire career to meet. And that is how you fill your calendar. So how do we fix this? Well, there's 3 different things that I really want you to start thinking about. First, I want you to sit down and really deeply think about who your ideal client is. Not just what kind of music they make or how successful they are in their career, but what are their goals, their fears, their obstacles? What are the existential worries keeping them up at night because they feel that they're not expressing themselves fully as an artist? Second thing I want you to think about is what are the things about you that drive you to create music? What are the collaborative approaches that you love the most? What are the things about you? What are the quirks about you that make your favorite clients, your best, happy, come back again and again and again clients? What are the things about you that make them keep coming back? It's probably not just the sonics. It's probably not just the gear, right? It's going to be something about your personality, your tastes, your experiences, your perspectives, and they feel like you're an indispensable part of their team. Those are the things you need to really focus on. And the third thing I want you to think about is how you visually represent yourself. You can really start by just asking, am I fun and playful and sarcastic while I'm in a session? Or am I a calming presence that is very serious and thoughtful? If we want somebody remotely to hire us, we need to let them see inside what our energy is like, what our vibe is like. And we need to visually represent that in a way that is in tune with what we're actually like. For mistake number 2, too many producers and engineers treat their social media profiles like a scrapbook when they really should be treating it like a storefront. Let's think about it like a music store. Imagine you're walking down the street in a new city and you see a guitar shop, and in the windows, you see a whole bunch of Hello Kitty guitars and $50 amp combos, all the things that a 10-year-old would be very happy to play with. If I told you that inside that store, they had the most extensive collection of boutique guitar amps in the whole world, you would never know that because from the outside, it seems like they sell Hello Kitty guitars to kids. If you think about your social media, what do people think as they're walking by your storefront? When they first come to your page, what do they see? Then when you think about the social media content we see other producers and engineers making, they're making mixing tutorials to try to get artists to hire them. But really, they're just getting the attention of other mixing engineers. They're getting the attention of people who want to learn that craft, not the people that are going to value and appreciate and want to hire the engineer in the first place. It's why your favorite plugin companies don't make coding tutorials. That's exciting and relevant to them, but it's not exciting and relevant to the people they're trying to sell the plugins to. Duh. The good news is that you can make social media content that is relevant to your ideal clients and also feels natural to you. So here are 3 fixes that you can do today. Go through your social media posts and remove the ones that are not relevant to your ideal clients. I know you're probably thinking, Carl, a few minutes ago, you just told me that I need to show my personality and show my vibe. Yeah. Okay. But you don't need 35 pictures of your dog to show your vibe. The second fix is pulling up your profile, looking at your bio and asking yourself, can 100 other people say this exact same thing and have it be true? More often than not, the answer is yes. And that's the problem. You might be used to being one of only a handful of engineers in your city, and you're a big fish in a little pond. And in that case, maybe you don't need the most exciting bio in the world. But if you're leaving that pond and you're going to be the little fish now, you need to be able to get somebody that doesn't know you and has no reason to actually read your profile to read your profile. Give them a reason to care. Whenever you're making a piece of content, ask yourself, is this relevant to them? Or is this something that I just think is cool? When you can find something that checks both of those boxes, that's great. But the problem is when you make content that's not interesting to the people you're trying to attract and build trust with. Mistake number 3 is that you made your website for you and not for your ideal clients. I'm not saying you shouldn't have part of your story on the website because obviously your story is a huge part of who you are. But think about why they're going to your website. On the surface, they're probably thinking that they're going there to learn more about you. But when you really think about why they want to learn more about you, they want to learn more because they have this gut feeling that you might be the right person to help them with something that they've been struggling with. So going back to that storefront analogy, you don't go into the Apple store to learn about Steve Jobs. You don't go into a Nike store to learn stats about Michael Jordan. So why is your website any different? Your website needs to hook them right away with something that is emotionally relevant to them and to their problems. So if your website is too much about you and too much about the cool things that you've done, there's no real reason for them to watch it. So when somebody goes to your website, it's a lot like when a person goes into a restaurant and asks for a menu. Yeah, there's a chance they might just be curious, but more often than not, they're there because they were hungry and they had a feeling that restaurant had something that they were hungry for. So here are some fixes that you can make to your website today. The first thing is to make sure that you have a photo of yourself right away. That's going to sound counterintuitive to what I was saying, where the website shouldn't all be about you. But I think of it this way. The website's goal is to speak to your potential clients, and the picture is just showing them who's speaking to them. So having your face there, having them be able to visually represent who is this person that is speaking to me and understands me, that's hugely important. The second thing to fix will be the colors on your website. This is going back to what I said earlier about the visual representation of your vibe. Do you want it to be black and white and serious, or do you want it to be colorful and playful and welcoming? And the third fix, go on your website, read what you have out loud. Does it sound like you? Is it speaking to the people that you should be speaking to? Think of it like you are talking to your ideal client, because guess what? You are talking to your ideal client. So if it doesn't sound like you, if it doesn't make them feel understood, if it doesn't make them feel like they're in the right place, then it is not working. This is either a fourth tip or maybe tip number 3, part B. When you're reading the copy on your website, ask yourself if it can be shorter. Because think about the last time that you listened through a 14-minute intro of a song from a band that you just heard of. So if you want them to stick around, get their attention early and keep their attention, and don't add anything that you don't actually need. Mistake number 4 is waiting around for word of mouth. And word of mouth is great when it happens, and it sucks when it doesn't happen. You've probably experienced that if you're working primarily with local artists, the word of mouth is going to go to other local artists. So if you're trying to expand to getting more remote work, you're kind of waiting around for something that's very, very, very unlikely to happen naturally. The only way to guarantee that you're going to start conversations is by starting the conversations, by being proactive, by taking on the responsibility of growing your network personally. You can have your social media dialed in. You can have a beautiful website. You can have an insane portfolio. But if the only thing you're doing to start new conversations is waiting for word of mouth and waiting for your name to come up in somebody else's conversation, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. So let's fix that today in 3 steps. Step number 1, go on Spotify and find 3 artists anywhere in the world that you would really love to work with. Step 2, find 2 genuinely thoughtful things to say about their music. I mean something deeply thoughtful and unique to your way of interpreting music. So instead of saying, oh man, those guitars are really awesome, you could say, I felt like I got kicked in the face when the second verse came in because I wasn't expecting that big wall of guitars to hit me. It was so cool and it just completely caught me off guard in the best way possible. One of those messages would really mean something to the artist. One of those messages would not. Step 3, send it. Find their email on their Facebook page. Go to their website into the contact form. Whatever you got to do, address them by their first name, say really thoughtful, intentional things, and don't ask for anything. Don't ask them to send you songs next time you need a mix engineer. Just do it because you're a good person, not because you want something. And you'll be surprised how many long-lasting, deeply meaningful client relationships that will start just by sending a thoughtful note. Just send it. Last but absolutely not least, mistake number 5, their experience sucks. I started really focusing on remote mixing back in 2018. Working with a remote engineer was still a pretty novel concept to a lot of artists. So it was a pretty low bar of what they were expecting. But fast forward to today when a huge amount of the music industry has at least some, if not a lot of experience working remotely, that bar is set a lot higher. So when people start working with more remote clients, they forget that they still need to make the experience personal. There are so many things that you do in the studio in person with somebody that have become second nature, and you're able to make them just feel so excited to be in the room with you. But making people feel that cared for through a computer screen is a very different ballgame. So you need to have the process smoothed out. And no, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you need to think beyond what can I do logistically to make this a better experience, but what can I do interpersonally to make this a better experience for the client? How can I check in with them constantly throughout the process to make them feel like they're involved and to let them know that I care as much as I actually do? So how do we fix it? How do we make sure that they have an unforgettable experience? Step number 1 is going to be having a really great onboarding process. A great onboarding process doesn't just tell them the schedule and tell them what file types and naming conventions you prefer. It's about making them feel comfortable and confident that they are in good hands. This could be as simple as an email that you send to them, or it could be a quick PDF FAQ sort of thing. It could even be a welcome video that you send to all of your new clients to let them know what to expect, when to expect it, and why they're going to have such a great time with you. The second step is to make sure that your remote sessions feel just as good as the in-person sessions. And I'm sorry to any audiophiles watching, but sometimes just sharing your Zoom audio is perfectly fine because you know that focusing too much on the technique or the technology can get in the way of a good song. Well, your techniques and technology can get in the way of a good session. So if you want to use audio movers to share uncompressed audio, go for it. Just make sure that you have it figured out and that you explain to them in advance how to access the page, what they have to click, what they should do, make it easy and make it clear. And the third way to ensure that they're having a really great experience is send them test versions. Lots of test versions. If you want to know my secret to really fast mixes and getting very few revision notes, is that I aim to make my first mix 80% of the way there. From the very beginning, I tell them that when they send me the files, I'm going to do my first mix. It's going to be a vibe check. I know there's going to be things that we notice and there's going to be little details that we want to fix, but that's not the point of that version. The point is to just make sure that we're going in the right direction because that achieves 2 things. Number 1, it makes them not expect it to be your version of perfect. So they don't hear that first mix and hear little things and think, oh God, why did I give this person my money? The second benefit is that the notes that they give you are not going to be super nitpicky, and they'll say things like, can we bring the synths up in the mix because they're kind of in the background now, but I really wanted them to be more of a prominent part. That mix note will take you 10 seconds to do, but will increase their confidence that the song's going from 80% to 90% in like a 10-second move. So keep them updated because it shows that you care, and it also gets them to stay excited and feel invested in the process, even if you are the one doing most of the heavy lifting. So if you want to get more remote clients that not only are a better fit for you musically, but also really value what you bring to the table, you want to, number 1, make sure that you know who you're talking to. Number 2, make sure that your social media content is speaking to those people and giving them a reason to actually want to learn more about you. Number 3, make sure that your website is confirming that gut feeling that you're the right person for their team. Number 4, be proactive with your outreach. Take control and make it happen. And number 5, once they hire you, make sure that their experience is not just as good as it would have been in person, but make it even better. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about how to find more creative fulfillment and more financial sustainability, click the link in the description, do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do, and then watch this video.